The New Jersey Marathon has been canceled for the second year in a row after a spike in COVID-19 cases. Organizers announced Monday that the 26.2-mile race scheduled for mid-October will not be taking place. Long Branch made the decision not to allow large events this fall. Runners who signed up for the race will be offered a partial refund or credit to another race. Welcome back to Jersey Matters. As you know, there's been a spike in COVID-19 cases because of the Delta variant, both in New Jersey and across the country. But as Jersey Matters' Kimberly Kravitz reports, there are people in New Jersey still suffering from lingering symptoms from the original virus. Kimberly.
Brain fog, shortness of breath, or sudden hair loss. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms post-COVID, you may be considered a long hauler, someone who is battling long COVID.
I'm just not the same person. I'm not.
62-year-old Randy Bett was diagnosed with COVID-19 just 9 days after receiving her first Moderna shot.
9 days after my first vaccination, I have a raging fever. I was on oxygen for days, and I was very sick, very, very sick.
Randy was hospitalized for 6 days and fully recovered from COVID, but it wasn't until 4 months later that she noticed these lingering symptoms develop.
Getting these bulging veins that I never had in my legs. My hands go numb. I developed arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, it just doesn't stop. I mean, I come home from going out for an hour or two, and I need a 3-hour nap. Kimberly, I wash my hair every night or every morning, and it just comes out in clumps.
Dr. Edward Liu, chief of infectious diseases at Jersey Shore University Medical Center, tells me that long COVID doesn't discriminate and could happen to anyone.
It affects any age group. I've seen numbers from 10 to even 50%, but I think it's closer to 10 to 20% of people can have the long hauler symptoms.
So for those who are unvaccinated, are they more likely to see these symptoms as opposed to someone that is vaccinated?
I think that unvaccinated people are more likely to have long COVID symptoms than the vaccinated.
The symptoms such as fatigue, shortness of breath, and muscular pain mimic many of the same as Lyme disease, and that's according to Dr. Alkett of Johns Hopkins University.
It was striking when I first saw the display of the symptoms in the COVID long haulers. They were displayed on a graph where each line in the graph was one of the symptoms, and they formed kind of a pattern. And when you take that pattern in the COVID long haulers and put it next to the pattern of the Lyme persistent symptom group, they're almost identical. It almost makes like a butterfly of symmetry of the distribution of the symptoms.
Even despite the pain and other changes her body is going through, Randy tells me that the one that makes her most discouraged.
The shortness of patience is probably the most disturbing, because I was always I would listen. I was always a good listener, very good listener. And I just lose my patience. COVID has affected me emotionally, physically, and financially, as it has my entire family. My son and my husband both have PTSD because they watched me.
So if you or someone you know are still battling symptoms of long COVID, there are options available for you, including the Hackensack Meridian Health COVID Recovery Center. Reporting from Jersey Shore University Medical Center in Neptune, for Jersey Matters, I'm Kimberly Kravitz.
Thank you, Kimberly. Next on Jersey Matters.
A scientific research institution in New Jersey is hard at work to further our understanding of the Delta variant of COVID-19. More on that story next.